the movies. For those who...
All right, this is going to be my review on Halloween Ends. These are just my loose thoughts, nothing too crazy. So here we go. I saw the movie a couple days ago. So originally when I saw it, at the time I thought it was okay. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special. It steered away from being a traditional slasher film. Yeah, there are murders and deaths in this movie. Not a lot. Not the body count that was racked up in the last two films or even in the entire franchise. But that being said, I thought it was decent at the time, but then now being able to sit with my thoughts and thinking about the whole thing in its totality, yeah, it's not that good. It's a character piece. It was a character study on the effects that Michael had on Haddonfield and on all the people. So you're gonna have two camps, essentially. Camp number one, you're either gonna think that this movie is pretty decent, okay, chill, soft reboot are the words that come to mind when thinking about this film, because the movie actually has two killers. It has Michael, who is an old, decrepit man after the events of the last film, who he's brutally injured and now just resides in the sewers. And then you have the new character of Corey. Corey was a kid who had a bright future ahead of him until the point in which he, snapped one day. Not on purpose, obviously. The whole situation happened to be, it was a night in which the events of Halloween, the previous Halloween, happened, and Michael's rampage affected the town, so everybody was kind of paranoid. And we had a couple who decided to leave their kid with Corey, the babysitter, and the kid was a bit of an asshole. He went around, running around and playing hide and go seek and just not listening to Corey, and then locked him in the closet, which was on the second floor of their house. They live in a mansion. So Corey was pleading, begging the kid to come out, and what happened was he kicked the door, and I guess the kid was behind the door, and the door immediately behind that is the balcony to going down the stairs or whatever, and the kid dies. And when the parents come home, they find the kid's body on the floor, and they suggest, and Corey was holding a knife, but obviously the knife didn't play a factor in that, but it did look bad because Corey was looking down. And he basically became the town freak, the pariah. Everybody thought he actually did it, and his temperament, for the most part, was still shy. Like, in the beginning, he was still not a terrible person. He was kind of sad, but not foregone. And he runs into, after being bullied. So, an aspect I didn't like about this movie, by the way, is how uncharacteristically mean everybody is, aside from a few characters. But again, that's due to, like Lori says when she was narrating, it's Michael's effect on the entire town that's causing everybody to kind of go rabid. And I wish that was the take that this movie took. We just see multiple different people just go stir crazy over the effects. And they kind of wanted to do that in the beginning. They allude to it with a bunch of different murders happening in the beginning, but it's really blink and you miss it, and they don't really go about it. The main focus is Corey. So after being bullied one night and being pushed off the bridge and being left for dead, Michael grabs Corey, brings him into the sewers, and then is about to kill him, but then he looks into his eyes and he sees that they have the same kind of kindred spirit and lets him go. And then ever since that moment, Corey is changed and he becomes a cold-blooded serial killer who does some pretty impressive kills, I might add. Like some of Corey's kills are really freaking brutal. Like he does a really good job at like murdering, but I guess it's because a lot of people don't want to see the face behind the man, and Michael is kind of like a force of nature, and that's either gonna rock with you or not. Because the thing is, a lot of people think the Halloween movies are just about Michael. Like it's just about putting this guy in different circumstances and then just watching him kill, and it's not really about that. You can argue that for Jason. I think Jason has more of a angle to play on that than Michael does, because you know more about Jason's backstory. Jason is the sad loner kid that got, essentially ostracized by his camp and killed. Yeah, and we kind of know the man behind the mask, and he just wants to be left alone. He's like the Hulk in a way, versus Michael, who's just a destructive force of nature who just wants to kill. And the last movie plays Michael to be like this really unstoppable force. Like it took the entire town to beat on Michael, and even then that didn't really work. Like he's still alive right now, but yeah, going back to the whole Corey situation, Corey ends up falling in love with Laurie's granddaughter, and we see Laurie buys a house. A lot of people are complaining like, oh, how could Laurie be prepping for like 30, 40 years and then just magically get over it? I mean, at the time, she really thought it was the end. You still get glimpses of the fact that she's kind of paranoid, but she really thought, and everybody thought in the town, that it was the end, that she murdered everybody. But even then, if you were paying attention, she kind of wasn't over it. She's writing a memoir, and in her memoir, she talks about like grief and the effects of all the murders and potentially playing with the ideas of self-deletion. And there is a moment in the film that has you think, oh, she might, self-delete herself, but she didn't. She was using that as a ploy to attack the killers. And personally, I think Laurie's character deserved Ride into the Sunset. This is just her. We've seen her be the stir-crazy woman. We've seen her being the battle-hardened woman. We've had multiple different iterations of her and Michael going head-to-head-to-head. Like H2O, a bunch of these different films. Halloween 5, like we've seen them fight several times. I don't know what else you guys want. And I get it. It should have been more of a slasher because this is horror, like a slasher flick at the end of the day. But we get that in Corey. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't really understand what I'm looking for, and people just really wanted to see Michael just killing people. People didn't enjoy the whole love plot between the granddaughter and Corey. I thought it was okay. It was strange to say the least, because again, girl, you're falling for a guy you just barely know. Off the strength of what? I have no idea. Maybe because she's, he's, easy on the eyes, and the last guy you went out with could have been your dad. So that wasn't really a healthy relationship. But the way Corey dies in this movie is kind of messed up. Like, again, he kills people who were either an obstacle on his path to getting what he wanted, which was the granddaughter, and like escaping the town. But these are also people that antagonize him and make his life a living hell. So it's not like unprovoked. I'm not saying that these people deserve to die, but you definitely see where he's coming from in the sense of his murders. It's not like Michael, who's just said, oh yeah, I'm just going to randomly just start murdering people because, I stubbed my toe and struck my wife.
The other day, I stubbed my toe and took it out on the dog. And 2 weeks ago, I ran out of vanilla ice cream and struck my wife. And then I find out my wife's been dead for 6 years. Who the hell did I hit?
I realized my wife's been dead for 40 years. Who the hell did I hit? If you get that reference, you're a legend. But yeah, that's the difference between the two. Do I think this was a bad... Do I think this was a bad Halloween movie? No, but I thought it was definitely mid. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe I was having a discussion with some friends, and I was thinking maybe hold this off the Corey plot line. You could have had Michael doing his final charade, killing spree throughout the movie. Replace all the Corey scenes with Michael just killing people, and then save the whole Corey becoming the next Michael for a reboot or like a passing of the torch type film. Towards the end, it's they kill Michael, and then evil never really dies. It just changes shape, and then boom, Corey becomes the next killer, and we deal with that. But they didn't go with that. They tried to have their cake and eat it too, which was a lot in one movie. Yeah. That's essentially what we had to deal with. Ultimately, I thought it was an okay movie, but let me know what you guys thought in the comment section, whether you liked it, didn't like it, what you initially thought, and stuff like that. And let's get a discussion going. And explain to me maybe why I'm wrong, why this movie sucks, or something. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know the next time we upload. And thanks for watching.